Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Boozer here. If you guys haven't heard already, there's going to be 3 events coming up for the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So 3 separate events. They're all going to line up with this kind of midweek champion chase that's happening. So I assume that it's just another way for Plarium to deplete your shards in between fusions. So this is going to be a pretty bait event. I would recommend most people to skip this, but it really depends. I mean, I would say 90, like a really high percentage of you guys should be skipping this event unless the rewards are just insanely good. They'll probably try to bait you with like a primal shard or something, but yeah, it's really tough to spend shards for primal shards unless it's like a guaranteed primal shard. But even then, they were overvaluing it so much that spending shards on primal shards is going to be probably not a good return on investment. So anyways, like I said, there's going to be a champion chase, and there's going to be 3 events, 3 10x events happening. So the first event is going to be 10x a chance on REO Bone Spear from Void Shards. I mean, most people won't have Void Shards to pull for REO Bone Spear. You know, especially if you're early, you probably just pulled for Seer, so you're not going to pull for REO. REO, we can go over her kit real quick. So REO Bone Spear, she's actually was pretty insane when she was announced. Like, her kit just sounds really good. I have her on both of my accounts. She was the first Void legendary that was guaranteed. I believe her price was 90 Void Shards guaranteed. I mean, at the time, she's actually a very good champion for 90. She's still a very good champion for 90. She has this passive, basically, whenever she receives a debuff, she transfers it back to the attacker, which is actually really interesting. It's kind of like a built-in immunity set. At least she gets 1 chance at it. It's a 3-turn cooldown, so it won't last. It's not going to be up all the time, but the first instance is actually really good. And then she brings a team cleanse with the heal. The heal can be significant. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, which is solid. And then she brings 6 debuffs on a single hit. All the necessary debuffs, basically. It's great for any boss encounter. And yeah, and you know what? She actually hits pretty hard too. So for her, she actually hit pretty hard. A1 plays a continuous heal. Not the best A1, but a little bit extra stats. Aura, faction crit aura is kind of weird. But yeah, pretty decent base stats overall. She's pretty quick, but she's not going to be super meta or anything. If you need a cleanser, she's solid. Her niche use right now would be like to counter like hegemons. Basically, she has like like I said, she has a built-in like immunity almost set. But she can't deal with Hegemon plus Kymar teams. Of course, these Hegemon's not really in the meta anyways right now, but if you can counter Hegemon, REO was one of the ways I was dealing with Hegemon when I first got her way back when. I do use REO in a couple areas of the game. I can show you guys real quick. I use her in Sand Devils for my 25 team. So this is my 25 team. Yeah, it's pretty pay to win, but REO does the 1 single hit and places the 6 debuffs on the Sand Devil, which allows him to take increased damage. So she's very special in that regard. And I also use her in Shogun's Grove. Kind of a similar team where she is going to place the debuffs on the Shogun with a single hit, so then it doesn't really trigger his shade counter too much. So she's very strong there. She's also very strong in Clan Boss, like I mentioned, and she does have uses in the arena. So moving on, our next event is actually for Kyoku and Withered the Crown. So these champions are probably not champions you really need or want to pull for necessarily. They're good champions. They're fine if you are progressing through the game. Withered the Crown, she was guaranteed at some point. I believe she was 15 guaranteed. She was 15 Sacred Shard guarantee. I have her on my account, I'm pretty sure. And I was using her for quite a bit. So her thing is that she has a cleanse and a heal, so it's similar to REO, so 3-turn cooldown. She has increased defense, which is really good, and then more healing. She's just a great healer, places leech and more heals, and then more heals with her passive ability. So she's like a really good healer, places a lot of buff on your team. and then she has a team cleanse. The thing is with her is that Mithrala is just a better version of her most of the time. So as soon as I got Mithrala, my Withered I just like shelved. I used to use Withered in like a resistance build for arena, just to support cleanse support for a go second team. But as soon as I got Mithrala, like Withered just wasn't used anymore. So if you guys have Mithrala, she's probably not going to be a champion that you're going to be using too much. And by the time you get Mithrala, you probably don't need her to support your demon spawn dungeons, faction wars. Sorry. So, and the other champion for Tuesday. Sorry, this is Tuesday. Kyoku. She is here. I believe she was also a guarantee. I forgot what she was. She was also a sacred guarantee, I believe. No, she was a training event prize for the winner of the training event. So she has an A1 weaken, triple hit. She has a A2 attack all enemy, decrease attack. And then she has this weird place the HP burn if it doesn't place a decreased attack. Yeah. So she has a chance to place HP burn. Her A3, 4-turn cooldown, ally protection, block damage. It's pretty cool. It's kind of annoying. She places block damage on herself, so she doesn't take any damage, but she soaks up all the damage from your team. And then her passive, it's a combination of like Seeker's passive plus Volgoth's passive. But I'll show you guys why it's a little bit awkward to use fully. So every time she gets hit with a crit, heals your champions by 50% on max HP and places increased defense on your whole team for 2 turns. So I'll tell you guys why it's a little bit weird. So I don't have Kyoku. Let's say this is Kyoku. If you put her at the front and she gets hit with a crit first, she places increased defense on your whole team. So the way damage goes in your arena team is like this. So it goes like this, right? So you go Kyoku gets hit first, then the damage goes here, here, and then here. So if she gets hit first, she gets hit with a crit, defense up will be on the rest of your team. Okay? However, if she gets hit, obviously hits first, she's also healing your team that is full health. So if your team is full health and she gets hit first, she will heal your team for nothing. So she can only really utilize 1/2. So the way that you want to utilize the heal portion of her passive is to move her to the back. So damage flows from 1, 2, 3, and then she gets hit. And then she will heal your team by 15% or whatever. But then she places the increased defense after your team has already taken the damage. So I hope that makes sense, and it makes her passive a little bit underwhelming. It looks great, but it's actually not as easy to use or intuitively, easy to use as it seems. So you either choose one or the other. Usually the increased defense is probably easier, so you place her in the front. Or you can use her for the healing if you place her in the back. So, okay, just something to look out for Kyoku. And then lastly, our third day on Wednesday, we have Yumiko. Yumiko from Void Shards. There'll be a 10x event for Yumiko. I mean, 10x events for Void is still probably the best shot you have at getting the Void. My last 10x, I just pulled Terrace, which is obviously very insane. I believe the odds are about 13-14% if you get a Void legendary out of that shard. So it's not boosted Void chance, so you had a 0.5% chance of pulling a Void legendary, and if you pull a Void legendary, you probably have roughly a 14% chance of pulling Yumiko, one of the best Void legendaries in the game right now in terms of everywhere. She's good in PvE, PvP at the highest levels. She's in the cadaver teams, the highest damage cadaver teams for Hydra. She's in the top platinum offense teams, top platinum teams, top live arena. She's the best, one of the best Void champions in the game. Yeah, so if you guys, obviously, if you guys are cracking out, you guys are gonna be going for this one for 10x. So good luck on those pulls. She's definitely worth it, of course, but you gotta be in the right position to be able to pull. Will I pull for her? That is a thing too. I will not pull for her because I'm not close to Mercy. What can I do? I am not close to Mercy. If I was close to Mercy, yeah, maybe I'll take a shot on her, but I'm not close to Mercy. But yeah, so those are the 3 events that are coming up. It's gonna, like I said, line up with a champion chase. If you guys are into these events, you know, good luck to you guys. But I think most of these events are skips. They're going to be just Polarium trying to milk you guys of your shards before the next fusion comes. There's going to be a ton of events. There's going to be a lot of coverage on everything. So make sure you guys choose your events wisely. There's going to be, you know, you can't participate in everything. You can't get everything. And if you do, then the fusion won't be a problem anyways, because you probably are at a stage in the game where you have so much resources that it doesn't matter. But personally, I'll be skipping probably all these events. I'll be skipping the full champion chase. I already skipped the entire summon event for the 2x primal shard event, which is a total scam event. 2x primal shards with no boosted odds to mythical. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why even make these different colors? Look, they're white here and they're yellow here. This should not be yellow. This should be white. Like, what are they doing? This is such a scam. But yeah, anyways, that event's ending in a couple hours here, and then we're gonna have our next scam shard event. So anyways, guys, best of luck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.